Hello guys, my name is Dmitry, and in this video I would like to complete my video series about dependency injection in Angular, and today we're gonna talk about such a thing called view providers. So let's get started. Okay, so I created some demo app which we're going to use for this lesson, and let me quickly onboard you and show you what I have created. So I will open the app folder, and there inside we will see the logger interface which our gallery logger service implements. This is very simple service. It has just some prefix and log message, nothing really special. And then we have another components, and let me maybe open them with a split view. So I will open application component here, then I will open the gallery component there, and gallery slide. Go down. All right, good. So what we can see here, we have this app root component which uses this app gallery component, which is right there. This component just has some basic templating. It has some wrapper, it has title, and then content. Inside the content we see slides, gallery slides component, which is just paragraph which tells that I am slide, and this is everything regarding the view. And here pay attention on the logger. So we inject the logger for gallery component itself, and inside ng-onInit method it logs that gallery has been initialized. And we provide the gallery logger service here because this logger should have separate instance for every instance of app galleries, right? Because we could have multiple of them, and every of these gallery instance should have its own provider. And the same is for our gallery slide. It also we inject also the gallery logger service inside the constructor for our slide, and inside ng-onInit we print some message that slide has been initialized. And yeah, now if we go to the browser and we reload the page, we see this is our gallery, right? And we see these two console log messages which says that gallery initialization happens here, and two messages from the gallery slide, right? And let's quickly recap how the resolving of dependency injection works, right? So we declare it inside the gallery slide, so it tries to resolve inside its own injector. If it doesn't exist the provider of this service there, it goes to the parent, and parent has provided this gallery logger service, so this instance will be used right there. Yeah, it's typical way how works dependency injection in Angular, and if you're completely new to it, you can check my videos about Angular dependency injection. There are 4 videos about this where I explain how dependency injection works, how the resolving of dependencies works, and so on. Let's move forward now and let's have a look at the view part of our gallery. So I will make it a little bit smaller, and I will close this sidebar because we're going to work only with these 3 components. And now let's imagine that these 2 components are part of some library, right? We created some gallery library and we published this to npm, and some developers can use it like this. And if we publish our library like it is right now, I'm pretty sure that the first issue we will get that we have this restricted type of slides. Yeah, we even don't have ng4 there, but let's just have a look at the design of this component itself. we can see that we have only one type of slide, and we hard coded inside this app gallery. And most probably our consumers, the developers who utilize our library, they might want to render different types of the slides. So it could be, I don't know, video slide, image slide, or article slide. We don't want to restrict them to do this. Yeah, we encapsulate some logic, as example, the swiping logic inside this app gallery, but we should not restrict our consumer of our library with some certain type of this slide. So the solution would be for this to use ng content. So we would use the content projection, and then we would define our slides there. Yeah, and here we have control over the order, we have control over what kind of slides do we provide, and things like that. So this problem would be solved, and our library would become more generic. If we save it and reload our page, we will see that everything that looks the same, and especially let's pay attention on the log services. So nothing has been changed and it works like before, right? So our logger, which we declared here, check its own injector. If there's some provider for logger service, it doesn't exist. It goes to the parent, yeah, it goes through this hierarchy, and it encounters the app gallery injector, and it sees that we have this provider, so this instance will be used. But what if we don't want to use this gallery logger provider? What if we create our own logger? So let's do it right now. I will use a next extension in order to generate some service. Let's say this is gallery slide logger. I skip test, run it. Okay, my logger has been created. So I will open this. I will then just implement our logger interface. Let's make it bigger. Then we have to implement the interface. And there I have some prefix which called already gallery slide, and another logic which logs this our message. Let's say it's from slide. Okay, so we have another service, and we want to use this service for our gallery slide. So let me make it bigger. So we don't want to use this one. We want to use our new one. So how we could do it? Let's try if we use providers, and let's say we want to override our default one. So I say provide how it's called, gallery logger service, this one, and I will say that please use existing one, which is gallery slide logger service. Okay, so let's save it. I save it, and now let's go and check. We reload, but nothing has been changed, right? And why it happened? Because the logic's still the same. So we declare it here, it will be rendered right there, and then it goes through the hierarchy, encounter app gallery, and uses this one. It doesn't even go to our app root, right? And this is where view providers comes into the play. So if I replace view providers instead of provider, we will see that now our slide initialization was rendered. So how does this view providers works? By the way, it's available only for components. And do you know why? Right, because directives do not have view. It has only component. So if we define these view providers, it says that this instance of this service should be available only for my view. And in my case, this is our gallery wrap, our title, our gallery content, but not ng content. ng content is kind of place, that slot where will be rendered the part of another view, and this is this part. So if to put it simple, this component belongs to the view where it was declared, not where it will be in the end rendered. So in our case, we declare our gallery slide inside app root. So this component belongs to this view, despite rendered inside this app gallery in place of this ng content. And these view providers means that, okay, make this instance of service visible to only these guys who declared inside my view. For these guys who will be rendered inside our ng content, this instance will be invisible. So in our case, it will skip this injector, this one, right? Because it's invisible. And there it goes up in the dependency injection hierarchy, and it will end up in this injector where we provide, instead of logger service instance, we use our gallery slide logger service. This is how works these view providers. It might be also useful in case if you want to encapsulate some service logic only for your gallery and do not expose this for components which come from outside. Yes, as example, if I would use the providers, I would be able to create my own component, inject this gallery logger service inside this my new component, and get access to this instance and call some method which is not allowed to call. Yeah, maybe you don't want to allow this for the developers. So you can use these view providers in order to encapsulate this logic. Okay guys, that's it. It looks like we covered pretty much everything about dependency injection in Angular, and I hope now you have better understanding how this mechanism works in Angular. Please let me know in the comment section what do you think about this functionality, where would you use these view providers in your application. It would be really interesting to read about your use cases. And now I wish you a productive week, take care, and see you in the future.